Morning, friends. We are starting our third lecture. We'll continue with our architectural composition. Now, the next architectural composition is contrast. Contrast means something different. So, it is noticeably different, and this contrast can be treated with color, as you see in these images, proportion and scale, as you see in this figure, proportion and scale. There is some. This structure is totally contrast with each other. Then shape and mass, also shape, this particular shape, okay, these are all the particular shape. And mass means what? Weight of the weightage given to the structure. Then texture and pattern and lighting, these are also lighting effect in texture and composition. Texture means some color combination, okay, and pattern. There are different pattern, okay, repeated pattern in this structure also, which creates contrast. And then lightning means the light effect which makes the structure different from one another. Let's see contrast in details. Contrast refers to arrangement of opposite elements like light versus dark color, rough versus smooth textures, large versus small shapes, etc. in a piece so as to create visual effects, visual interest, excitement, and drama. Contrast is a design principle that occurs when two visual elements are dramatically different. The greater the difference, the greater the contrast. Contrast gets your message across by emphasizing what's important and directing the reader's eye. Aids in readability by making sections, headers stand out, and gets the reader's attention by adding interest to the page. You can create contrast in size, value, color, type, and other elements. Then monotony, ninth composition, monotony. Monotony means it is a continuous repetition of a single element or a number of elements producing an unpleasant effect is called as monotony. Here we can see in this structure, this pattern is repeated, okay, causing a monotony. In this structure also, this pattern of this balcony is repeated, okay, and that gives an unpleasant appearance to the structure. The monotony can be physical or mental. In the physical world, it is repetition of the same movement over and over. It becomes a mechanical act that architects have to think about. Repetition of items, color, shapes, or form is said to be monotonous with each other. Structural monotony can be achieved in a repeated situation. Monotony can increase morale and increase elevation spaces. Then next composition, proportion. Comparative relationship between elements in a design with respect to size is called as proportion. Here you can see the structure, okay. This structure is different from this, okay. So proportion of both the structure is different, okay. Here also the structure is somewhat circular. Here the structure is somewhat square, okay. So here the structure is symmetrical, so we can say the structures are in proportion with respect to size. So proportion refers to relative size and scale of the various elements in the design. Proportion is a central principle of architectural theory and an important connection between mathematics and arts. It is the visual effect of the relationship of the various objects and spaces that make the structure to one another as a whole. Here we can see this structure, okay. This is somewhat the length of the structure. Here is somewhat larger, but here the height of the structure is somewhat larger. So we can say that both the structures, they are contrast, but they are in proportion, okay. This building is proportion with respect to height. This building is proportion with respect to the length of the building. Here also it is a symmetrical old structure. Okay, so windows, these are French windows, they are in proportion with each other. Okay, so we can see, say the both structures, they are proportion with respect to each other. Now scale. Scale is an architectural composition, that means proper relation of different elements to one another and to whole. The scale is considered with respect to surroundings. The size of doors, windows and staircase are different for residential buildings when compared to public building. The proper scale is essential for better and qualitative results of proportion. It is an architectural composition which, okay, which relates different elements to one another. Scale, it relates to the actual and relative size and the visual weight of the design and its component. Furniture and accessories must be in scale to the room. Okay, here we can see a structure. Okay, we can say that the structure is neatly arranged. Okay, so we can say that the scale is proportional. Here the center table is there, chairs are well arranged. Okay, there is one wardrobe over here. Okay, windows with the curtain. So we can say that the structure is well scaled. Here also there are two these table type structures. Okay, these windows are in proportion. Okay, furniture is, so the flooring is okay. So we can say ceiling is also okay. So we can say the structure is in scale with respect to each other. Now here we can give an example of a sofa and a chair. Okay, now here in first figure, these three figures, this sofa and this arrangement is there, but this chair is different in all these three figures. Okay, so in this first figure, this sofa and this scale, this chair, it diminishes the effect of sofa due to its size. Okay, now in the second, we have reduced the size of the chair. So okay, so the chair, it accentuates its shiny scale. Okay, it concentrates on its shiny scale. Okay, now here in the third case, we have kept a small sofa near this sofa. So this club chair, or we can say that club chair, it matches to the scale of the sofa. So in the third picture, the scale, the club chair or the sofa chair, it matches with the sofa. Okay, so we can say that the third diagram is in scale and proportion with the sofa. Now color. Color has an immediate and profound effect on a design. You can see a structure, various structures with different colors. Okay, here also this is a red square in Moscow. Okay, the building with a different color combinations, which creates a very nice effects. Okay, so color has immediate and profound effect on a design. Now different types of colors are warm colors. Those are reds, oranges and yellows. Cool colors, these are blues, purples and greens, green colors. So here we can see the effect of color on different structures. Okay, here we can see different types of chairs placed in different colors. So how we can feel? Okay, these two chairs, they are very shiny than these two light chairs. They have light color effect. Okay, here also this wall with the lavender color, it has a different effect on the whole structure. They are here black and white plus color combination. Okay, black and white color given to the structure, then again some other color given to this interior walls, that creates a different types of effect on the structure. Now 13, next character, next composition, character. Character refers to the style of the building. The character is related to the functional aspect of the building and evolves from proper combination of unity, mass, composition, proportion, scale, etc. So all the previous architectural composition, they are kept in a combination to have the character of the building, then which constitute the basic principle of architectural composition. The types of characters are functional characters, traditional characters, and personal characters. We'll see functional character. That shows the purpose of the building or the reason for its erection. Then the external appearance plays an important role in determining the purpose and the function of the structure. So show the purpose of the building or the reason for its creation. Why the building is constructed, okay, and why the building is constructed, or it is why we erect the structures. Then the external appearance plays an important role in determining the purpose and function of the structures. So external characters, appearance, it plays an important role in the functional character of the structure. Here we can see administrative building, okay. Here we can see an industrial building. So the functional characters, the external elevation gives the appearance of the functional character. Then this is a, I think this is a mall like commercial building, okay. So these three buildings, they have three different purposes. So their external appearance gives the function of the functional character of the structure. Then traditional character, according to the tradition, the character of the some buildings is expressed through elements associated with certain influences. Such influences often go thousands of years back in the history and culture. Cultural aspects play important role in determining the associated character of a particular structure. Here we can see a temple belonging to Hindu religion. So here you can see a church belongs to Christian religion. Here is a mosque, okay, belonging to Muslim religions. So this follows a cultural tradition or traditional character of the building. Then personal character. If a building is designed in proper spirit, personal characteristics such as grace, dignity, and vitality can be expressed as a as an integral part of the structure. Okay, as per the proper spirit or personal characteristics such as grace. If you see the structure, we should be happy, okay, and we should be proud of the structure. So here we can see a building with very grace and dignity and vitality for its construction. Now next topic, qualities of architecture. There are mainly 7 characters, qualities of architecture. First one is cohesion, then second one is completeness, third one is elegance, fourth one is equivalence, fifth one is hierarchy, sixth is modularity, and seventh is vision. Now cohesion, the action or fact of forming a unified whole. Okay, the structure should be unified and structure should be constructed, or it should be designed as a single or a whole unit. Cohesion runs within functional subcomponents of an architecture. That is example, how related the functions are within a room or floor as well across the entire architecture. So it runs within the functional subcomponents of an architecture. For what functions and for what purpose the rooms are constructed, or for what we are doing flooring of the buildings or flooring of the room, as well as the entire architecture. The functionality intercorrelated between different elements and components of the structure. The functionally it should intercorrelated between the different elements and components of the structure. Okay. Here we can see a group housing, okay, in a repeated structure. Then here we can see a different structure, but it has an some unique elevation treatment. So we here we can see a structure with this cellular domes, okay, semicircular domes. Here we can see whole buildings, okay, skyscrapers. So that will, we can say the structures are in unity, are in cohesion, okay. Here the cohesiveness characteristic of architecture is expressed. Completeness, having all the necessary or appropriate parts. There are no missing parts to the design, and there are no elements of the design that have been left with a weaker description than the rest. The solution is complete and the architecture is balanced. So all the structure should be a structure should be a complete structure with all the appropriate parts. Okay, say doors, say windows, say walls, say slabs, say external elevation, okay, floorings, etc., color, furnitures, gardening, landscaping, okay. There are no missing parts to the design, and there are no elements of the design that have been left with a weaker description than the rest. Okay, no element should be left incomplete, and the solution is complete and the architecture is balanced. Okay, now in this figure we can see that there are 8 these circles, okay, with one missing. So we can say that this structure is, this drawing is incomplete. Okay, so if you introduce one more circle over here, okay, so we can say that the structure or the part or the drawing or the figure is complete. Okay, here we can see a beautiful house, okay, showing the completeness in the structure. Here also it shows with the lighting effect, the building have a completeness in nature. Here also there are a group of housing, okay, group of housing with the completeness. Here also a city with a complete structures, okay. So these are the 4 examples of completeness. Elegance, elegance means pleasingly ingenious and simple. Elegance means appearance. The architecture views together the ingenious use of technology with process and organization to complete task and fulfill business objectives. So the architecture uses innovation without confusing the observer, and to achieving this degree of quality requires dedication, time and experience. So a structure should be pleasingly ingenious and simple. Okay, it should appear as a simple structure and as a whole, structure as a whole. Architecture weaves together the ingenious use of technology. Architecture binds technology with the process and organization to complete tasks and fulfill business objectives. An innovation is also introduced by the architecture without confusing the observer. And to achieve this degree of quality requires dedication, time and experience. Here we can see the elegances in the structures. Okay, all the 4 images. Here we can see a multi-purpose building, okay, with a single column like structure, okay, and the ceilings, they are lighted, creating the elegance. Here the appearance of the building, neat appearance of the building showing elegance with neat compound wall. Here the room with the white color effect, okay, and some furnitures with reddish brown polish that creates elegance. Here also interior of a room, living room, showing elegance, okay, showing the sofas, the furnitures, the lightnings, okay, the trusses, they are well arranged. That shows elegance. Equivalence, equal in value, amount, function, meaning, etc. The architecture separates the design along with levels of equivalent concern of its constituents. The results in uncluttered and clear designs for each design concern. The principal levels of abstraction concentrate design efforts efficiently. So equal in value, amount, function, meaning, and etc. So architectural composition or the qualities of architecture should be in equal in value, amount, and function, meaning. The architecture separates the design along with levels of equivalent concerns of its constituents. The result is in uncluttered and clear designs for each design concern. The principal level of abstraction concentrate design efforts incidentally. Here are some examples of equivalence. So here all these four images, they appear in equivalence. Okay, this structure, this complete structure showing equivalence with respect to one another. The structure is equal with respect to one another. Here this beautiful structure, okay, with this Mangalore tile roofing, with this beautiful garden, it shows equivalence. This structural monument inside a building, okay, the arrangement of these four columns that detach the building in two or more parts, okay, that shows equivalence. Also this rooms, this building with this room elevation, okay, with this elevation, that shows equivalence. Hierarchy, an arrangement or classification of things according to their relative importance. The architecture demonstrates the inheritance of properties from higher levels of abstraction to lower levels of details. This order of inheritance recognizes patterns to simplify complex problems using hierarchical relationship to avoid repetition and confusion in details. So, arrangement or classification of things. Arranging things according to their importance, that is called a hierarchy. The architecture demonstrates the inheritance of properties from higher levels of abstraction to the lower levels of details. Architecture demonstrates the inheritance, the inclusion of the properties from higher level of abstraction to the lower level of details. This order of inheritance recognizes patterns to simplify complex problems using hierarchical relationship to avoid repetition and confusions in detail. So this hierarchy should be arranged in such a way that it will simplify complex problem. Then using hierarchical relationship to avoid repetition and confusions among the structures. Okay, here we have some examples of hierarchy. Okay, so in this we have arrangement of the structure as per the requirement. Okay, this is building enclosure. Okay, then the external environment affecting the building. Okay, then mechanical and electrical systems that are installed at the top of the building, and inhabitants, people living in the building. Okay, so hierarchy starts from the mechanical equipments, then their environmental external environment, then building enclosures, then inhabitants, people living, then foundation, these pipelines, water pipeline and this sanitary pipelines. Okay, so this building should be in hierarchy. The architecture should be arranged as per the hierarchy. Okay, here also example of hierarchy. Okay, so at the top, aesthetic, acoustical, visual, tactile, thermal, comfort, cooling, leveling, etc. that comes in the top. Okay, then durability, economy, environmental impact. Okay, they come again on the second part. Then third one, hygrothermal performance, that is environmental separation. Then last one, free structural strengthening rigidity. Okay, foundation. So first one is aesthetic, second one is sustainability, third one is environmental separation and moderation, and last one is health and safety. Okay. Then modularity. So in employing or involving a module or molecules as the basis of design or construction, where module is each of a set of standardized parts of independent units that can be used to construct a more complex structure. Then significance or ability of modules or elements. Here we can see modularity. Okay, the building is designed in modules. Okay, here also building is designed. Here also there are different models. Okay, different parts. Building is designed in different models. Then vision, a mental image of what the future will be or could be like, is called as vision. The architecture conveys an inspiring outline of the future of the enterprise within the bounds of scope of the problem being solved. Inspiration is born of creative innovation in the solution, justification in the language and context of the business. Here, a mental image of what future would or could be like. The architecture conveys an inspiring outline of the future of the enterprise within the bounds of scope of the problem. Inspiration is born of creative innovation in the solution, justification in the language and context of the business. Here we can see a cinema hall. Okay, I think it is a multiplex. Okay, which has a good vision. Okay, here also a meeting hall. Okay, having a good vision of outside pleasing appearance. Okay, so it gives a pleasing appearance to the people who will be gathering here for meeting. Okay, so that is visionary aspect of architecture character. Then user friendly and eco friendly architecture. Now green architecture building, it reduces maintenance replacement cost. Then there is energy conservation. Then greater architectural flexibility and environment friendly and resource efficient. Eco friendly makes use of local building material, local workers, renewable source of water, renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, etc. Production of natural inhabitants or natural habitants, non-polluting construction practice and industries. Then use of architectural salvage and adaptive use of older building, that comes under eco-friendly. And then utility of space, important to give a good effect. It should fulfill the function. It should give good impact to structure as a whole. It should include for kitchen, washing machine, etc. It should give architectural effect to suit its purpose. It should give good aesthetic relative to the need. For future growth, after future growth, it should not appear outdated or irrelevant. Hence, at design stage, future growth should be considered to balance environmental, social, and economic needs. Design should be long-term planning. Role of urban planner. Next topic, role of urban planner. It is also known as regional planner. It determines development of communities and metropolitan areas. Examine land features, then duties, develop a plan and take decision, conduct a field investigation for feasibility, approval, change or reject. They present a report to government officials and public out about land use projects. Then transportation planners, then use advanced methods, tools like and techniques like GPS, GIS, etc. Then for different regions, check for feasibility, then work for improvement of society. Role of architect. Architecture has to do with planning and designing form, space and ambience to reflect functional, technical, social, environmental and aesthetic considerations. So these are the roles of architecture. It requires the creative manipulation and coordination of materials and technology and of light and shadow. Often conflicting requirements must be resolved. The practice of architecture also encompasses the pragmatic aspects of realizing buildings and structures, including scheduling, cost estimation, and construction administration. Documentation produced by architects, typically drawing plans and technical specification, defines the structure and or behavior of a building and or the other kind of system that is to be or has to be constructed. Thanks for listening. Okay, we have completed our first unit. Okay, our second unit will be in my fourth lecture. Thank you very much.